Hey everybody. Well, I've been continuing my work on the high-grade Universal Century Sazabi here, and I got to a point where I needed to apply the top part of this shield here. As you can see, I did all of the back side, but I need to apply that front black part, and I was looking in the manual and I saw that on this front edge part here there's supposed to be a strip of yellow, as indicated by this little raised portion here. So what I did was, instead of using blue tack like I normally do when there are curved and rounded surfaces where you need to apply your masking in some kind of odd corner or very precisely on edges and stuff like that, I decided I was just going to use straight standard masking tape here. And sorry I didn't show how I went about it, but it's pretty straightforward. Basically, I took strips of this tape and, using the straight edges along there, I took those straight edges and lined them right up against the strip here on both sides lengthwise and along these edges too. So then, for the rest of it though, I didn't really measure or do anything. I just sort of put tape all across it, and it was pretty easy. So now it's all painted, primed, top coated, and I'm going to see how it turned out. Hopefully there won't be too many spots to clean up. And there you go. Looks like I may need to clean up the edges here just a little bit. So you can see some of the paint kind of leaked down in there. But that shouldn't be too hard of a project. At any rate, turned out looking pretty good. And after I cleaned it up, this is how it turned out. And what I did to help clean it up was, first of all, I took my hobby knife, and just by using the angles of the tip here, I was able to sort of wedge it just right so that the blade would scrape off just enough of the uneven excess paint on the edges here. And then, even after that though, there was still some paint residue and chunks that would stick. So what I did then was I took a sharp toothpick and sort of wedged it in that same edge corner, and that helps remove a lot of the excess that is left behind after scraping with the knife. And if there were any more problems, I could just take a brush and gently sweep away any of the particles left over. And after all that, I get this kind of result. And I think it looks pretty good. Maybe it's not perfect, but good enough for my taste. But something's missing. So to finish up that top part of the shield there, I need to apply this crest. And as you may notice, I've kind of been chopping away at the sticker decal sheet here, and I was thinking of taking scissors and trimming the decal as close to the actual pattern as possible, because, and it may be hard to see here, but along the edges of where the decal separates from the sheet, there is a bit of excess clear plastic for where it attaches, and I am trying to minimize that as much as possible. It may be tricky, but if you do have the skill and the patience, that is something that you can do to help make your decals look a little cleaner and less like a decal, I guess. Or the alternative would be to use your hobby knife and sort of cut along the edges. But that may lead to some tugging and pulling if the blade is not sharp enough, and you may wrinkle and deform the decal to the point where it's unusable. So doing anything like this is a big risk, and I'm still a bit undecided about whether or not I'm going to. But I figured I would at least point this out as a possibility, and as a relatively simple way of making your models look better. Anyway, for now, figured I'd go ahead and show you what the shield looks like pretty much completed, except for the crest. And I think it looks pretty good.